When someone tells you no, when life denies you comfort, when reality demands effort, that's not punishment. That's love in its hardest, purest form. We live in a world that has confused love with permission. We've been taught that caring for someone means giving them everything they want, protecting them from every struggle, shielding them from every hardship. But that's not love. That's betrayal dressed as kindness. Real love challenges. Real love demands. Real love says no when yes would be easier but destructive. The parent who sets boundaries, the mentor who pushes you past your limits, the friend who tells you the truth you don't want to hear, these are not acts of cruelty. These are acts of love. We live in a world that praises pleasure and demonizes discipline, a world that celebrates comfort and condemns challenge. But love that never challenges you isn't love. It's weakness in disguise. It's fear pretending to be compassion. And deep down, you know this, because the people who changed your life weren't the ones who made it easy. They were the ones who made it real. The Stoics understood something we've forgotten. Discipline is sacred. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He understood that obstacles aren't interruptions to growth, they are the very mechanism of growth. A parent's correction, a mentor's demand, a failure that humbles you, a difficulty that tests you. These are not random acts of cruelty from an uncaring universe. These are expressions of love from reality itself. Because real love doesn't feed your comfort, it feeds your growth. Think about it. The strongest trees grow in the harshest winds. The sharpest minds are forged in the hottest fires. The most resilient hearts are built through the deepest pain. Nature doesn't coddle, it challenges. And in that challenge, it creates strength. The world calls discipline cruel because it exposes our laziness, because it demands we become better when mediocrity feels safer, because it asks us to endure temporary pain for permanent transformation. But the soul calls discipline divine because it knows the truth. We don't grow in comfort, we grow in challenge. Every great teacher, every warrior, every philosopher in history was trained through hardship, not handed success through ease. When life becomes difficult, you are not being punished, you are being prepared. Modern culture has created a dangerous equation. We've decided that love equals permissiveness, that caring means protecting from all pain, that support means never challenging. This is why we see adults who crumble at criticism, why we see minds that shatter at setbacks, why we see people who interpret every boundary as betrayal and every standard as oppression. They were never taught that discipline is love. They were taught that love is acceptance without expectation, validation without achievement, comfort without cost. But that's not love. That's the slow poison of low expectations. Real love says, I believe you're capable of more than you're showing, so I will not let you settle. I will not enable your weakness. I will push you, even when you resist, because I care more about who you become than how comfortable you feel. To love someone is to help them grow, even when growth hurts. That's why true self-love isn't bubble baths and affirmations. It's not telling yourself you're perfect as you are. True self-love is facing your weaknesses and correcting them, no matter how it feels. It's waking up early when your body wants sleep. It's choosing the hard conversation when avoidance would be easier. It's doing the work when distraction is calling. Discipline says, I care enough about my future to sacrifice my present comfort. I care enough about who I'm becoming to challenge who I am. This is love. This is what the Stoics meant when they spoke of virtue. Let's go deeper into the psychology of tough love. Children who grow up with boundaries become adults who understand consequences. Children who face appropriate challenges develop resilience. Children who hear no learn to regulate their impulses. But children who are never disciplined grow into adults who cannot handle reality. They expect the world to conform to their feelings. They interpret structure as oppression. They mistake correction for attack. This is the crisis of our age. We've raised a generation that was protected from discipline and now struggles with reality. Epictetus, who began life as a slave, understood this perfectly. He wrote, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." But here's what he was really saying. Life is telling you something. Stop arguing with it. Stop demanding it be different. Start learning what it's teaching you. Every setback is information. Every hardship is instruction. Every no from reality is redirecting you towards what actually matters. The person who never experiences discipline never develops discernment. They don't know the difference between what they want and what they need, between what feels good and what is good. Discipline teaches that distinction. When a parent says no to a destructive habit, they're teaching your impulses are not always trustworthy. When a mentor demands more from you, they're teaching your potential exceeds your current effort. When life denies you what you want, it's teaching something better awaits if you're patient and persistent. This is love. Uncomfortable, unglamorous, unappreciated love, but love nonetheless. So how do you embody this understanding? First, reframe every challenge as an act of love from the universe. The difficult project at work, the relationship that demands communication, the body that requires discipline. These aren't punishments, they're invitations to grow. Second, practice tough love with yourself. Stop making excuses. Stop negotiating with your weakness. When you set a standard, honor it. When you make a commitment, keep it, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Third, extend this understanding to others. If you truly love someone, don't enable their weakness. Don't protect them from every consequence. Don't lie to make them comfortable. Tell them the truth. Hold them to standards. Believe in their capacity to rise. This doesn't mean being harsh. It means being honest. It doesn't mean lacking compassion. It means having the courage to care more about their growth than their comfort. Marcus Aurelius loved his people by leading them with discipline. Seneca loved his students by challenging their thinking. Epictetus loved his followers by demanding they take responsibility for their responses. This is the way. The next time life challenges you, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What is this teaching me?" That shift changes everything. When someone sets a boundary, don't see rejection, see protection. When someone demands more from you, don't see criticism, see belief in your potential. When reality denies you comfort, don't see cruelty, see the universe sculpting you into something stronger. Discipline is love. And if you can internalize that truth, you'll stop resisting growth and start embracing it. You'll stop interpreting every challenge as attack and start seeing it as opportunity.
You'll stop demanding ease and start demanding excellence. This is the path of the warrior philosopher. This is how mental armor is forged. Not in comfort, but in challenge. Not in permission, but in discipline. Not in what feels good, but in what makes you good. If you understand that discipline is love, comment below, "I embrace the hard way." And subscribe to Mind Armor, because this channel is not for comfort seekers, but for truth seekers. The ones who know that real growth happens when you stop running from difficulty and start running towards it. Welcome to the hard way. It's the only way that works.